This Steve comes to us from our regular normal field reporter, Frank Williams. There's a Steve in my bedroom. Guys, pull up a chair, Aries Steinberg and Marky Mark. I got a story to tell like Biggie Smalls. So this particular night, I had to go into work on a late night shift, 12 to 8 a.m. And before I went to work, me and the old lady got into it because I told her and done had it with her. So on this night, I left work a little, and when I got home, I found 2 wine glasses, a case of A&A ale, and heard R&B music playing in the background. Needless to say, I was expecting the worst. I called up Right Hook Ronald. Oh, he's making this up. I thought this was real. And asked him for advice, and he gave me some words of wisdom and took Heath. As I was approaching $10 lot of money, brother, the master suite, I heard noises I never heard before. She was moaning like crazy, heavy breathing, and climax like no other. I'm not gonna lie, I was jealous and pissed off at the same time. I needed to find out who this mystery man was, but before I got a chance to kick the door in like SWAT and proceeded to take the advice Right Hook Ronald was given, came a loud name being screamed through the walls of the master bedroom. And
Steve.
Spears and Steinberg.
You know what the it is?
Aries and Andy, Jew and the Jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut, cold. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Scribe, we lit.
There's levels to this before you was on your mama.
Aries Spears don't give a fuck.
We talk about race a lot, racism. Much love to my loyal bag holders.
Rollers, loaders.
We got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
we've done that before.
Yeah,
that recording. Oh, Steve, we've done that before.
Yeah, but I like his.
I mean, he got a different story, but same result.
Yeah.
Still love you, Frank. Okay.
Steve should just put that on his house.
Put it on his house?
Put that sound at his house. That sound effect. He should just have
That's
it.
the doorbell.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve. Shaiwan the Great. Hey, Aries, how does it feel to be vindicated twice in a week's time? First, you got a huge viral clip about 50 Cent. I'm a computer. That is killing it. I hate that Vlad stepped on the punchline, but I have looked at that clip at least once a day since I watched the interview. That proves just how funny you actually are. Secondly, Mark, what are you looking for? Secondly, the War of the Worlds just came out with Ice Cube in glasses doing the worst acting ever on film. Proves your point. People hate this movie and its cubisms. It got a 0% by reviewers and 11% from audiences on Rotten Tomatoes right now. One more thing. I remember years ago on WGN Morning News in Chicago, something happened that made a tense situation. Have you guys since mended fences? I don't remember that situation. I wish you would have been more descriptive in telling me what that was, because I don't recall it at all.
So it's mended in your head.
Yeah, if it never happened, you know what I mean?
We got to see the movie, though. Do we have to see it?
My way through this.
And we just talk. We have to have the conversation, man. Everybody wants you to give your.
You know, once again, I don't know what episode it was, but when we did a particular episode about the Netflix thing we watched about cliches, movie cliches, I forgot that is a major one. Anytime they want you're a computer person or any kind of science, nerdy, they put glasses on you.
Are you a computer tech right now?
I'm a computer tech. I mess with computers. I know computers. I'm a computer tech.
John Sally and Bad Boys.
Yeah. Like, why does this make the difference?
So is Cube a computer tech in this one? Is he a computer guy?
He's a scientist.
So is he wearing glasses in this
Yes.
one? And so how would Cube say that he's a scientist?
I don't know science terminology.
I just think it's funny.
The osmosis of the sun has certain degrees when it's within its capillaries. I don't know science jargon.
I couldn't even put that together in my head. I couldn't even hear it in my head, and that was just funny. You did it.
You know, when I did it on Vlad, you know, he made the good point of going, you know, Keanu Reeves is not a great actor, but he, like Cube, he makes great movies. So what's the problem there? I go, you know, listen, if I had to choose between, hey, here we go, or here we go, I just choose, hey, here we go. I like that better. I said they put him in Much Ado About Nothing, which was Shakespeare with Kenneth Branagh and Denzel. Hark, who goes there? I could take that over, hark, who goes there? You know, I'm sorry, man.
You're selling me more and more on Ice Cube now. I feel like I like it.
I would like to hear him do. I'm not asking you to do this, but it would be funny to hear him do like Shakespeare. You know, to be or not
No,
to be.
Vlad said he started laughing and going, "Wow, Ice Cube doing Shakespeare.
Yeah.
To be or not to be? That's the question, homie."
Yeah, and if he was from Brooklyn, he would have said it different. He would have said,
Son.
That's the difference between L.A.
Yeah, homie and son. Hey, what up, homie? Yo, what up, son? Yeah. But you know, one thing about East Coast, and that's why I love, you know, again, when it comes to that slick, that talking, we know how to say, you know, put some sexy on it, like in the movie Atlanta, when the one friend was from New York, and the other guy goes, "Yo, man, how come you always calling me son? Cause you shine like one." Like New York niggas just know how to, you know what I mean, son?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, one thing about Vlad that bothers me, and I Big Boy, the radio personality in LA, he's a huge fan of mine. I sent him the 50 Cent computer tech, and he called me howling. And he said the same thing that a lot of other people said in the comments. Why did Vlad step on your joke? Like when I go, what separates? And as I'm pulling the glasses out, Vlad goes, glasses. Vlad does not have a comedic instinct in his body at all. There will be times I'll be on his show and I will say things expecting and just nothing. And I go, Vlad, you don't get that? Like it's certain just it misses. Like when I did the clip where I put on the big fake eyelashes, he puts in the thing showing me with the eyelashes in the clip that would make you want to click it. I go, Vlad, you don't remember what we did? I had shades on so that I revealed it. Don't give away the joke, man. You give away jokes.
Yeah, I went. I can't even get this out. I went with you one time when you did the Vlad, and I sat there. I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. It was one of the most boring experiences I ever had with you. Because Vlad, the interview was good. I was watching you, but he isn't chock full of personality. I'm not knocking Vlad.
Not only is he not a chock full of personality, but the thing that people complain about, it's like he's such a narcissist. Where it's like people write in and go, "Hey man, we watch your show to hear the guests. You go on these long rants where you just like to talk. Like stop talking so much. And people always go, Aries, one of the reasons why we love you on Vlad, you don't hesitate to tell that motherfucker shut the f up. Because he will overtalk his guests. Like, man, shut up. I'm here.
He should want some Ed Sullivan.
Right. Get out of the way. And, you know, I'm going, is it the Russian thing? Because, you know, them Russians, you know, we laugh at different sense of humor. Like, is it that Russian?
I don't know, but it may be, because I don't think there's a big comedy scene in Russia.
Yeah, right? Give it up for the next comedian, Boris Mokolkov.
But I'm not knocking Vlad because he does it great. I mean, his show is good. He gets great guests.
Depending on who the guests are.
Yeah.
You know.
But he gets good guests.
Yeah, I mean, people would say, man, the top guests are Boozy before he quit, Godfrey, me, Tony Yayo. Boozy is a character, man. Come on, man. Byron Sellers. You are Marvin Hagler. Gentlemen, after listening to Andy's thoughts on what he sees in you, I have to admit I agree with his assessment. You should really appreciate your contributions to the culture more than you do. I might not agree or laugh at everything you say, but I think you're good at what you do, and it should be more apparent to you by the number of sold-out shows you do. You're never going to please everyone, but you have lots of fans that rock with you. The numbers are the numbers, so try to get out of your head with what's not and enjoy the what is. I'm a little annoyed that you have me agreeing with Andy. Take the emotions out of it, Steinberg, but I'm sure Andy will say something that will get me back on track. The banter on the pod is great. Wish it was a live radio show so I could call at moments that another opinion is badly needed. Of course, that would be Andy's fault mostly, but Marc and his moist S's are on his gay ass. Gay pun intended. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Peace and blessings to y'all. God, it's so funny, man. I'm telling you. It's like that legend has taken on its own monster, man. It's crazy.
Me being gay, yeah, that's nothing new.
Zachary Candy.
That should be that. We
Canadian.
should have put that as your last name instead of
What?
Candy. Mark Candy.
Mark Andy.
Sweet. It's been a while. What's up, A&A and M? Heads up. Sorry in advance for the long email. Been sitting on this for a while, so here it goes. I just find it ridiculous that Andy and his reason for voting for Trump, damn, I thought this monster was dead, continues to lean on the one interview from The View of all shows where Kamala fumbled the answer on what she'd do differently than Biden. At the same time, though, Trump is so easily forgiven when he fumbles, and he fumbles every day. Then the other hook Andy's so quick to hang his hat on is the whole who's running the country narrative. If he really believes in the whole Biden Politburo thing, I don't know if I said that right, he may as well throw the MAGA hat on. Where's the media is evil spin that he often uses in Trump's defense? Lastly, about that policy over character, LOL, really? Trump only believes in and backs policy that benefits him and people like him. But let's play the game for a second. Mass unchecked deportation, executive order to dismantle the Department of Education, DOJ dismissal of police department investigations around police brutality, rolling back DEI, cuts to clean energy and sustainability programs, deploying the National Guard in L.A., but where were they on January 6th? Pardoning the individuals involved in the January 6th riot, pulling federal funding from educational institutions because they refused to succumb to his wishes, the means and methods of the Department of Government Efficiency. These are the policies that you want to defend? As an insurrectionist who threatens to invoke the Insurrection Act, a draft dodger demanding to be honored with a military parade, a convicted felon demanding law and order, the just doesn't make sense to me, but to each their own. Okay, that's enough of the politics for now. Aries, we have to expand your hip-hop palette, bro. How you never heard of the Clips? We got to get you out of the New York City hip-hop world for just a little bit. Outkast, 8Ball, MJG, UGK, DJ Quick, Scarface, just to name a few. Not trying to change your top 5, just saying that you're really missing out on some diamonds. Anyway, see y'all next time you're in D.C. Peace, Zach. P.S. A few weeks ago on an episode, don't remember exactly which one, I heard the name Millennial Marc and just thought it sounded like a gay superhero.
That kind of does.
Millennial Marc?
Yeah, he could be Millennial Marc. If you want to go through those, I'll go through them really fast. But I really don't want to do the politics thing. But I can do them really fast, though, if you want to. If you can read it off. And Marc is right here to try to go with it.
Don't read off.
Okay, Marc, have your button ready for the... Oh,
Yeah.
no. I was going to say the...
It's going to be quick.
wrap
It's
up
going to be
music.
quick because I don't really want to do this.
Mass unchecked deportation.
Yeah, I think he should do it better. He should do it exactly like Obama did it. It was cleaner. It was more authoritative. He did it with an authority and some. It didn't feel so as brutal.
Now, see, that's what you never bring up when you bring up to me, Obama did it too. You've never said that.
What?
And I know there was a difference because people pointed out, yeah, Obama did it too, and maybe more so than Trump in terms of numbers, but he didn't do it like Trump.
Biden too.
Yeah.
Biden's also
No,
deported more people.
but you
until
can't
this
really
point.
use Biden because
No, don't get him going.
yeah,
Don't get him
you
going.
can't do that. You can't do that because he let him in and then deported him. He let him in and then deported him. It was his deportation.
He let him in.
Biden.
He was at the
he
border
wouldn't- he
eating an
wouldn't-
ice cream
yeah,
cone,
yeah, yeah.
saying, "Come on in."
He should have because he didn't close anything up. Go ahead.
Executive
Vegas
order
the
to dismantle
laws.
the Department of Education.
Yes, I agree with dismantling the Department of Education because since it was created in Jimmy Carter's time, all we have done is go down in education levels across the world. Our education level, the education has suffered. It goes back to the states. It doesn't mean that we don't have education. I think state-run sometimes in states, the money doesn't have to go through the federal government, gets siphoned off, and then it costs billions of dollars to get down to the state level where it hasn't, where the students actually get it. So yes, I agree with getting rid of it.
DOJ dismissal of police department investigations around
I'm
police
not happy with this one. That one I'm not happy with.
rolling back DEI.
I am happy with some of the rollbacks in DEI. I don't think that it should be rolled back completely. There's places that I think that should be used in a way to fix or mend things, but it shouldn't be done as crazy as it's going right as it was.
Cuts to clean energy and sustainability programs.
It's not that it just cuts to clean energy and sustainability programs. It's also, again, on federal agencies. These are the NGOs that are doing it. They're not elected people. They are making decisions that aren't based on laws. They're not based on the American public. They're based on what these people believe are best. So yes, I do think this needs to be rolled back, and it should be part of more of a public forum that how we take care of our energy and our environment. So
Deploying the National Guard in L.A., but where were they on January 6th?
on January 6th, they should have been there. We've talked about this before. Apparently, they were offered to be there. There is the scene in the documentary where Nancy Pelosi says it's my fault. I should have, and she says she should have had them there. So if we can get more into this and whose fault it is. I wish there was an investigation on whose fault it really is that they weren't there. As I said before, when we had a 1 million man march, we had plenty of National Guard on the steps of the Capitol. But for this thing, where they knew that there was agitators and problems in there was no National Guard. So you have to question why.
Pardoning the individuals involved in the January 6th riot.
I don't agree with that at all.
Pulling federal funding from educational institutions because they refused to succumb to his wishes.
I have to go back to the other one. I agree with some of the people getting pardoned. There was people that weren't even there. I don't agree with just a blanket pardon that everybody got off. I'm sorry, the last
Pulling
one.
federal funding from educational institutions because they refused to succumb to his wishes.
It's not because they just refused to become to his wishes. They were actually students that were.
Yes, it is.
No, it wasn't. There's students that are winning law cases right now for millions of dollars against universities because there was a failure to protect the students. So if they're winning lawsuits for millions, how are you saying that it's just
comic books and the news all day?
Because I have time. Because I'm an old man. Go ahead.
Last one. The means and methods of the Department of Government Efficiency.
What was that again?
The means and methods of the Department of Government
Doge?
Efficiency.
Oh, Doge? Yeah, these
That
things
was a
need to be
failure.
cut. No, it wasn't a failure.
Yeah, it's
no.
a failure.
How is it a failure?
How much money do you think they saved?
I don't care how much they saved. They needed to cut. They needed to go into these and
They
cut
didn't.
back.
They didn't do that.
Yes, they did. What do you need to watch the news?
Yeah,
And
they
you need
did-
to read. And you
They
need to
didn't.
read.
They didn't really do. They did a couple things.
Okay, if
but
they didn't do, then
supposed
what
to be
is the
cutting $2
then why were
trillion,
they?
then $1 trillion,
Then
and then
why are they
literally it was.
How much did it cost us to cut it?
What do you mean?
What was the cost of Doge?
How much did Doge take out? Probably.
No. What did it cost? What was the Doge themselves? Doge.
Yeah,
What did the entity Doge cost us to do what they did?
maybe I saw a number. It was like $6 million a week.
And how much did they save us?
More
Go on.
than that, but
Power
not
to
a whole
leave.
lot.
Okay, not enough for Mark. Go on. Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, they
Okay.
also
Then
just
I answered
cut
all. I answered
shit.
all of them.
They cut
And to
certain
your point is,
funding.
yes, I do have some things I disagree with, but I don't. Overall, I didn't disagree. And yes, you're supposed to disagree with some things. Did you like everything every other president has done before him? Go on. I'm done.
It's
That
not a
was
good
it.
time to talk about Epstein.
Yeah, we could talk about Epstein.
Let-
Have
let-
you seen what's just come out? Did you see what just come out?
You remember when you said, "Oh, he got kicked out of the Mar-a-Lago"?
He did.
Or that's not what he said recently. He said because they were stealing workers from him. Like teenage girls.
See, this
from
is
the
my
spa.
fault right now. This is my fault. They were stealing them to traffic them. Not
All right, we got to
stealing
move
them
on.
to
We
work.
got to move on. We
Exactly.
got to move on.
Yeah, so he kicked him out.
No, because he kicked him out in
Marc.
like 2008, 2009.
Marc. Chevalo Hancock. Ice Cube. What's up, A&A and gay? I just wanted to chime in a little on this Ice Cube thing. You are entitled to your opinion, Aries, but everybody who listens knows that you are heavily East Coast, more specifically New York City, biased when it comes to rap. Okay.
Do you like Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you said you hated, it was a good day. I was like, oh, this tripping, LOL. You even compared the lyrics to some Cat in the Hat type shit. And that's when I pulled the car over, got out, and beat up an old lady. It wasn't a good day for that. She caught a straight. I had to get the anger out. As I was stomping this generic white the out, I was saying out loud, it's ironic I had the brew, she had this chronic. The Lakers beat the Supersonics. How, stomp, R, kick, those, punch, Cat in the Hat lyrics. LMAO. Later, I did my research and I watched Are We Done Yet? I said, man, Cube ain't that bad in this. In this, the person that actually aggravated the out of me was Neil Long's character. That brain was half and a half. Oh, half and half Andy. On one part, Cube actually made me laugh out loud. So, Aries, what is it really that you don't like about this dude? Did he hurt you? LOL. By the way, did you hear? He was slated to star in the upcoming movie World of Worlds. When I read that, I posted Aries is going to love this, LOL. You and Andrew should check it out. I can't wait because this role is different from anything he's done. We'll get to see if Mr. Spears was right or wrong. And the people have spoken. I'm right. Before I go, I want to say that when I started this thing about Marc being gay, I didn't know it would take off like it did.
Oh, you started it. Okay.
Is he? I would have done it sooner. I feel great about it. Later, fellas. Dude, here's what I said on Vlad. I have a problem with any rapper in comedies because we eat, sleep, breathe, and comedy. This is what we do. This is our God-given gift. And when you take a script and you do exactly what's in the script, you're not going to go beyond that because you don't have the comedic instincts to do what we do. So when I brought up the example of Are We There Yet? Here's the comedy. And I did this on the pod before. Dad goes up on the ladder to fix something on the roof. He slips off, falls in the bushes. The aerial shot, cut to goofy face. That's fine. But a comedian's eye, a comedian's instinct, a comedian's trigger will be able to go, all right, that's funny. But now, what if I did this? And then I added this. We elevate the artistry. So no rapper possesses that ability no more than I possess the ability to rap. That's not what I do. That's what the rapper does. So he gonna be able to go in that booth and do something I can't do. So don't come in my sandbox trying to do what I know you can't do better than me. That's what I have a problem with.
But when it comes to the business, it's all about selling tickets.
I know.
And and I think that people would be okay with you saying that, but you don't give him credit for his rapping ability also. And
I'm not a fan of his rapping
his
ability.
legacy in hip hop.
I did. I said hats off to him for what he brought to the culture, how he's moved the game. He's a pioneer in terms of the game and the culture.
But
I gave him that.
Yeah, but people forget that you say that, and then they just go off the other stuff. They do. Because what was his comment? You didn't like, what was the song that you just said?
Today was a good day.
Yeah, so, that affects him. He feels a certain way about that. But you give him credit for what he did. It just necessarily isn't your style of music.
And and again, when people go, man, you just New York bias. Okay, that's what I like. That's what I like. I can't like that.
You can.
All right then.
And then as long as I asked you if you like Snoop. You didn't have any issue.
I do like Snoop.
So it's not like it's just.
I like Tupac, even though technically he's not from the West Coast, but he's known as a West Coast rapper. I love Pac.
I think we should reshoot Are We There Yet? With Aries starring in it.
Sometimes I be wanting to know the logic behind what you're thinking.
Redo. This isn't bad.
We'll show it's better.
We could do it, and we could just do your scenes, the scenes you're talking about, and we could do it the Schneider cut.
Schneider. Oh, like Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah.
We just take a VCR. We'll go out. Just put it in like Zach's did.
Cameron Gerton, another outstanding warrant. What's up, A&A? Hope all is well. I'm Officer Cam with another outstanding warrant. This time it's only for Mr. Steinberg. I know you're wondering why I'm pulling you over today, Andy. Well, I pulled up your license plate, a.k.a. an old episode, and it shows a failure to appear in Target to buy a washcloth for your ass. This is a serious issue, but not big enough for a felony. Listen, I understand some of your points about a washcloth, but at the end of the day, wipe your ass, man, and not with your hands. Everybody secretly knows the hierarchy of hygiene. It goes your mouth first, then your hands, then your ass. All are important, but your hands can't be in your ass without the divide of cloth, mainly because we use our hands for important stuff like rubbing our woman's or scratching our nuts. Nobody wants or nuts. So all of this being so anal about your anal, but not using a washcloth makes no sense. Plus, a wise man once told me our asses are like dumpsters. No matter how much you wash them, they're never as clean after the first use. Even though I should take you in on charges of aggravated whiteness, I'm going to let you off this time. P.S. I don't know if you guys saw the B. Simone clip where she was crying and over the fact that because her fiancés were tied up in investments, she couldn't afford to go to Neiman Marcus like she usually does and has to go to H&M. Like that just disappoints me about our culture these days in the black community where we can't see the forest from the trees. I understand you Aries have this infatuation with money, and I'm not saying everybody doesn't want money, but this over-materialistic, gaudy lifestyle that doesn't mean anything but an ego stroke, it means a little more than that. Just doesn't make sense. I heard you on Big Boy Podcast talking about money, and you say your statement of, well, if you think that money buys happiness, be broke then. If you don't think money buys happiness, be broke then, which is an old tactic to go to the vast extreme when you know there's middle ground. Aries, you are blessed beyond measure. Don't forget that, because I've heard you talk about wanting a better relationship with your son, and that is the type of things you can't buy. That I'm sure would mean the world to you. Anyways, I'm long-winded, stay blessed, Black, Highly, and even Andy and Marc. That's your train of thought. I don't want to be in the middle. That's your train of thought. I scroll through Instagram and I follow this thing that shows mansions. I want to live in a mansion. I want a really nice crib. I want to be able to go anywhere I want and maybe one day not fly commercial so I can leave when I want to leave and not have to go through TSA and not have to wait and deal with somebody kicking my seat. That's what I want. Why are you diminishing my dreams?
I don't think he is, but he's asking you in your dreams of wanting these things. They are important. Yes, you should want these things. You should always, there is something about wanting to elevate yourself so that you continue to strive, because that's what motivates us. But he also asked you in there a relationship with your kids or a healthy relationship with your significant others.
That's important.
So if those are important, where does it lie in importance? Which would you give? Not that you have to give up either. You work for both, but the foundations are laid in not necessarily being in the middle, but having a strong foundation built up of the middle is how you can proceed to move forward.
Well, that's what you said. He didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's how I interpreted what he said.
No. He told me be happy in the middle.
No, I think though,
I wish we could play that clip right after I describe what I want of Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street giving the big speech in the office. When I do something, I do it in the back of a limo. I want to be rich. Ah! Like, yeah, what's...
Yeah, but it didn't work out for that guy though.
Well, because he did things illegally.
Yeah, that's true. But what brought him to that is the greed for the money, for the other things. You have to build a strong base to move forward. That's what I'm saying. You don't want
Greed
is good.
Good.
Yeah, look where that got us.
Again, illegal.
Yeah.
Just do
Well,
it
even
legally.
without his illegal ways of acquiring money, his family life was still going to be.
Yeah.
If you take all the illegal stuff out of it.
Well, I mean, he was popping pills and broads left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an emptiness to that, though. There's. Listen, I root for the person
I want to be empty.
see that is the decision, though. You can make that decision, and I'm not disagreeing with you because I see people who work hard, like a regular, like I know a postman that raised 11 kids and had a good life, put some of them through college. Some didn't want to go through college. He had a great life. Has the same wife, lived in a nice house.
You talk to your postman?
He lived down the street from me, and he was a great guy. I mean, how could I ever say? And he wasn't worried about getting your plane flying the way that you fly. It's part of your daily ritual. It's part of your job. It's different than his. He doesn't need to go on a vacation every day. You basically go once a week. We have to get on a plane, so it's different for you. But for him, that was a great life.
Let me ask you something real quick, and I know this is going to be a yes and no answer, meaning. Of the two questions I'm about to ask you, I'm almost 99.9% sure one of the answers is going to be yes and the other one's going to be no. So here we go. 11 kids, you say?
Yeah.
Was he African?
No.
Was he black?
No.
What? He was Hispanic then.
White guy.
11 kids?
11 kids. Raised them
I was
all.
sure you were going to go no African, yes black.
Nope, raised them all, same neighborhood, worked hard, had a nice house. His wife didn't work, put him to school. He even had a family car. The kids didn't grow up with like everything that they wanted. They worked hard. They did their stuff. All the kids had jobs. And all the kids are somewhat successful, and all the kids. I'm really proud. Like when I think of that family, and I go, man, that's someone who just knows what he wants, and is happy in his skin and in his life.
There's no reason for 11 children. There's just no reason for that.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that part.
You get 11 kids, your vehicle that you're driving is a colored bus.
No, listen,
That's a partridge family.
11 kids was necessary in old times when you needed farm hands. Seriously, that's why you had kids. You had kids to help work your land. That was part of the reason to have kids.
But what are you pumping, one out a year?
Yeah. I think he was.
It gotta be.
Yeah. Like the oldest, I was friends with some of more of the younger ones. The oldest one looked like the dad. The oldest kid was like the age of the dad.
That's ridiculous.
Doesn't that just destroy your wife?
You know, I'm not going to get into that because I had respect for these people, so I was trying not to talk about this. But I don't know that was her job though. That was her job. She had kids and she took care of the house. That's a job, man.
All right. Emmanuel Gomez, Ed Sullivan Show. Great documentary on the Ed Sullivan Show, how it broke the color barrier on TV. Great watch. Yeah, we talked about it. Damn, 11 kids. That's just ridiculous.
I think they're Catholic.
So what does that mean?
No contraception.
Oh, if you're Catholic, you're not allowed to wear
Back
condoms?
then, well, the Catholics I think do that now, but back then they weren't supposed to. You know, you just went in and made a family.
So I'm a Catholic then.
You're Catholic.
All right. Jerry Tillery, Happy Gilmore 2. Aries, you would have been perfect to play Chubb's son
Yes.
and would have done a better job. Who played it? It was Lavelle Crawford, right?
Yeah, and I had that same thought when I saw it. I was
Yeah.
like, this is f***ing... And you look more like Chubbs.
You mean Carl Weathers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, go on. I had that same thought when I watched it, so...
And what is your opinion of sequels taking place decades after the original, like Gilmore and Top Gun? To me, Top Gun was a pale imitation of the first one, but Gilmore I actually liked and found it funny. And a question for Mark. If Andy and Aries were gay, would you either one of them?
I think you should keep that to yourself. I don't want you to know.
Hold
the
on.
answer to that.
No. Put that on ice for a second. I'm not a fan of sequels being made decades later because I think the magic is gone. There's something to be said about your youth, and there's a certain exuberance and magic that you have in your youth. And that's, not to say that we can't see the character grow, because eventually, if this were real life, he would get old. But that's not where the fun is. And then it feels manufactured when you're trying to relive shenanigans that you did in your 20s, in your 40s and 50s.
I'll tell you some of the old movies. I'm gonna even give you this why I like some of these old movies.
Well, the one I did, I disagree with you about Top Gun. I don't know that I liked it better than the first one, but I like Top Gun too. I liked it. And again, it's all in the writing. The biggest concern for me with, oh my God, another Rocky movie. If you're trying to put Sylvester Stallone in the ring and in the shorts and the gloves in his 60s and like he's 20, it's ridiculous. But the way they played it made it okay. With Tom Cruise being this older, instructor and him playing within his age range, that's, keep it real.
I think what is nice about the nostalgia of doing a movie years later is the ability for us to share it with our kids. Because they can see this movie and then they go, yeah, but look at the one that we had. And
so you would even show them the movie backwards?
Well, I didn't care which direction. I like sharing those other movies with my kids.
So basically,
my movie.
So you show the movies to your kids like you tell people to listen to the podcast. You show them the movies out of order?
I don't care which way it
What?
is.
How could you not?
No, but usually, I'll go see this one first and then go see the other one.
Okay.
But I do like I loved when I got to show my kids Karate Kid, and True looked at me and goes, yeah, I didn't care for it. But I got to show it to him.
But did you ask him, does that have something to do with it feels dated to you, or you just didn't like the story?
I don't think he didn't like the story, but I just like, though, that we get to share. There's some similarities, some connection, some through line to my childhood to his childhood, where we have these same characters.
As soon as my son turns 18, nigga, I'm showing him Caligula. Mark, so give us your answer.
I'd say Aries because he'd bring the lotion and his liver lips.
Oh. Every now and then, dude. Listen, Jordan can't hit every shot. Every now and then you need a curve to throw off the defense and win the game. Bravo.
It just bothers me that he thought about it.
Oh, I had that ready to go.
Yeah, that felt like that was already in the chamber. Oh, dude. See, to my point, this is why I say listen in order, man. That joke doesn't hit you at all if you hadn't heard the previous episode. That joke doesn't hit you.
Yeah.
And then they see you laughing with that great cackle of yours and going, I don't get it. Why is Andy laughing that hard?
No, it's still funny. It's still funny.
No,
it's still funny.
no.
It's still funny.
You need the setup for that to work.
But it's still funny.
How?
Because it's funny.
Nah, I feel like I'm going to get my ass beat because someone's going to listen to this out of order.
That's hilarious. See what I'm saying? Like, this is, and listen, we know Mark dabbles in stand-up. He's not, he's not fully immersed. But the instinct to put that together,
Yeah.
where a rapper's not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I take offense to that.
But you
that
should
you're in a comedy getting to do a job that you don't even have the guts to instinctively know what to do.
But have you ever heard Marc rap?
Exactly. He got no business on the mic in the booth, and certain rappers got no business in our pool. Get the out.
Sell them tickets.
Man, let me see.
T.I. would disagree with you completely.
Oh God. Yeah, indubitably.
He was good in Ant-Man.
I don't even remember. Oh, but he wasn't really. He wasn't, carrying comedy. Ty Pope, Wu-Tang. Man, Aries, you are killing me, bro. Andy gets a pass for this. How does a New York dude like you not know who the original members of Wu-Tang are? I pretty much did.
I thought you did.
Y'all had me screaming at the damn radio in my truck, LOL. And then you did Vladislav television, not knowing who clips are. As much as you talk about how much you love to hear lyrics, I for sure thought you would know who they are. We might have to give you a few strikes on your hip-hop card for these offenses. Us hip-hop lovers let you get away with all Southern MC slander already, LOL. On another note, stop letting Marc talk. Every time I hear his lispy voice and his unfunny little racist quips, I want to spot the first white boy with above-the-knee shorts on and slap the shit out of his mouth. And don't be letting him read you them fake stats on black people. We make up half the arrests, not committing half the crimes. And Andy and they're co-signing it too. Sorry this one is so long. It just shocked me that they would even repeat that. Cracker need to be right. Sorry for the lengthy email. Peace, y'all.
What I didn't. What was that part that you said? Black people make up what?
And don't be letting him read you them fake stats on black people. We make up half the arrests, not committing half the crimes.
No, it was half the murders. It was half the murders.
Was it?
You can look it up.
You know, again, I saw a clip. I wish I had saved it, where a black dude broke down a lot of the Charlie Kirk was saying about that very same thing, about black makeup something to murders with 13% of the population. And this dude, I mean, eloquently broke that whole thing down. I wish he would have faced off with Charlie Kirk.
I wish someone would face off with Charlie Kirk on this stuff.
Yeah.
Because some of it, some of the stuff Kirk says, yes, I get, but there's other things that are just.
Listen, I like when Kirk takes the piss out of all the people that are trying to say transgender women are women. And he breaks it down in terms of biology. He always asks them, what is a woman? Tell me, what is a woman? And that's when you see they get frazzled. A woman is anybody that calls himself that. Nope. And then he breaks it down. But then when he starts with the black, I go, this nigga's a little racist, yo.
I think he's. I don't like using the term racist. I think he needs the education that he has on these statistics.
Well, how can you be so educated on one thing and then
because he's not caught.
Maybe he's wrong on them both.
But he's
no.
not.
Stop it.
You
don't believe that, do you?
Yeah, 100%.
Wait. Screech on the tires.
No.
So you believe the thing about the transgender women are women? You believe that?
Their sex and gender are two different things.
This is a different age
yes,
group.
they are born. They got balls. Yeah, you're a man, but it's just
It's just what?
It's just how they want to be referred to.
Okay,
stop.
Okay, wait.
But also, too, if you want to go biologically by it, to say that there's not something.
Science?
Yes. If you want to say that there's not some component of their brain that's making them think like that, then why would they do it?
But that has nothing to do with sports or in
yeah, sure. Like there's gray areas and things of sports. Of
but we're not recognizing
puberty,
even the gray areas.
Be in female sports if you've already gone through the puberty. There should be limits to this stuff. But sports is a very small amount of this issue that's blown up.
You say that unless you were a woman who was in that sport, and now you're getting pushed back because a man is.
I'm pretty sure you have more likelihood of getting your sucked by a shark than actually seeing a trans female person. There's not a lot of them.
Whoa! Say that again. You got more of a chance of getting your sucked by a shark than you do seeing a trans person in women's sports. Yeah, we've seen it.
And I haven't seen it.
I've got my dick sucked by a shark.
I haven't seen it.
It's really not that much. And it's even if you do allow them into it, it's what harm is it really causing? Because
I don't know. I don't know. To the legit women that really train their whole lives and work their
not
asses
that
off.
high of a number. Definitely combat sports. That should definitely
any sport.
So volleyball, when that girl got her face broken, that's just a shark sucking it.
You know, this explains his dress shoes with shorts.
It explains Otto. There is a different. Listen,
at the end of the day, this is really just about transphobia.
No, it's not.
It is.
It is not.
Because if you ask Charlie Kirk what he really thinks about
Listen,
gay and trans shit, he's going to go, it's immoral. And once you start saying it's immoral,
stop it. If when you see certain Trump supporters get interviewed, and you can tell the only thing that they got in their mouth or upstairs is one tooth in their mouth, versus a guy like Charlie Clark who is breaking it down intellectually.
yeah, religion
based on
will do that to you.
science.
Make it sound like, oh, you're all smart
No,
and shit.
he does. I'll give him this. He does say that he can defend his. He says he'll defend his opinion based on science or fact, and then he uses religion as the third part, not the first part.
No, it comes from a core of like, I start from here, so I'm not going to accept anything. I'm just going to justify my answer.
So even if you went with religion, that debunks the other,
What
the
other
science and the intellectual part of it. That debunks that.
No one's saying that somebody born with a dick is not born a man or a man. But there's a quasi gray area of people that like to dress up as women, or not even dress up. That's who they feel they are.
That's a fetish. That's a fetish. Then you do that.
So is gay people dicks a fetish?
But just because you dress up as it doesn't make you that.
No, nobody thinks. They just want to be referred to and not.
Well, like, you know,
they don't want their humanity taken away.
I don't like, and I've always said, treat people with dignity, respect. Treat them as equals. Nobody's arguing that. And listen, I don't like Candace
But I think
Owens.
we are arguing
I
that.
don't like Candace Owens. But when she goes, I don't expect me to participate in your delusion. I'm not doing that.
But that's only for the ones you could tell.
I don't have a problem if someone wants to live that life because it makes them feel comfortable, makes them feel
Mazel tov, do it.
That's fine with me. I don't like when it interferes in a reality, which is a woman's sport.
Besides sports, what's the
That's
thing?
it. That's the only one I have a problem.
I think we can figure that out then.
Yeah, we can. Have your own league.
Yeah, that's what I really
cool with
think.
that.
I think that is the answer, but that hasn't been discussed. And the NCAAs had just tried to make this happen, like without any
Marc, I
conversation.
know-
Should we have given black people their own league?
What?
They did have their own league, and
Yeah,
you know
we
what?
went through that.
And they should still. And if they would have kept their leagues, they would be far better off than they are right now.
And if you, with your 34-year-old self, would watch some of these documentaries, you wouldn't have said that.
Said what?
That stupid. What? Do blacks have their own leagues?
Well, I know they obviously had their own leagues, but letting them into the mainstream.
It was.
I'm not saying let
that
all
was-
women
yeah.
play sports. That's not what I'm saying. But
I would. There is though, like when
where they're going to dominate.
they are gonna. A male is gonna dominate in female sports. Yes, you're right.
He is. Absolutely, he is.
I'm not saying we should let trans people in women's sports. I'm saying maybe that's grayer. We can't figure out, so don't think I'm saying that.
Well,
May-
that's what you said.
But
though.
the whole I'm not going along with your delusion. That's
No, I'm not. No, I'm
and
not.
Whatever.
I'm not going to call you a woman and you're not. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go her, she. I'm not doing that.
I'm going. If you want to be called a woman, I'm going to call you a woman. But the other day when we were sitting out in the thing, and I say man to people all the time, and I said, okay, thanks, man, and you guys all freaked out. I'm not changing my language because I'm going to be. The fact that I didn't change my language shows that I am accepting of who you are.
Just saying, she probably spent $20K on those tits just to be called a man.
But I didn't call her a man. I said, thanks, man. Because
I
the
know.
same way I call, when I go to the crowd, I address the crowd, I go, what's up, man? What's up, guys? What are we doing? I'm not changing my language. And that is respectful that I don't change my language. If I change my language for you, now I am making, when I say I'm changing my language, I'm talking about the way that I use just guy and man in a sentence. I don't
Listen, a man.
It doesn't have
a man does not talk to a biological woman the same way he would another man. So if you're gonna come and tell me we all hanging out and somebody's transgender, and you go, oh, refer to her. So now I gotta change how I talk to you because you want to be called. You say you're a woman. No, you're not. So I'm not gonna change how I talk to you.
Well,
I mean, I don't think you should change or get in trouble for, which is probably what happens a little on the left, is oh, you did this, blah, blah, for like, dude, it just came out. Like, I'm sorry.
But
I
they
referred
do.
to you as a
But
dude.
they do.
I know, and that's an annoying thing, but I feel like you got to separate that from the actual, like, issue at hand and not worry about what the crazy left people are trying to push on you.
Well, that is the problem because that's what the pushback is on the crazy.
So
left.
then, like gay people, is that a illusion or
no,
delusion?
No.
Why?
because you can be that's a choice that you can be sexually attracted. Your chemistry has attracted you to someone to a same sex.
But biologically, that makes no sense of why you'd be gay.
No, because biologically, the only advantage to being biologically, the biological advantage is to be able to procreate, to have more kids.
And no gay man is asking me to call him her.
So isn't that a
No,
delusion?
because there's no delusion in that. There's no delusion in it. You actually like a guy's hairy ass.
Because that's how you feel inside.
Yeah.
That's how these feel inside.
But that's how. No. This
What do you mean, no?
No, because you're talking about feelings. You can feel attracted to something. You can't be something. You're still a man who is attracted to a
Why
man.
can't you?
You're still a man attracted to a man.
I know, but really, this is like hormones and
Okay,
chemistry
so let's
and
all
play.
No, it's not.
Let's
No,
all,
it's not.
Let's all play Disney. When you wish upon. Let's play Disney.
Some of this is also
Okay,
trauma.
here's the second
Some of
thing.
it's also trauma.
So, you could be like, this is a disorder, whatever, fine. Well, how do you solve it?
I say let you live
When
your
they
life.
transition, they have a better. Well, it depends on. There's like.
Different studies.
Yeah,
but I would say
by
I would
transitioning and living your most authentic self, and people accepting you, is how they have less suicide rates.
In
and
Africa,
less
we have
depression.
ways to solve the problem.
I have no problem with calling her and him.
All right. Nathan Kawanza, white genocide. Hi, from one heavy topic to another. Hi, Aries and Andy. Second time emailer here. I've got a podcast I'd like both of you to listen to and discuss. Then I'll probably write again after you've listened and discussed it on the show. This might need a full Spears and Steinberg episode to discuss. Oh, boy. It's the What Now podcast hosted by Trevor Noah, and it's basically talking about the recent white genocide and history of South African racial dynamics. As a black Zimbabwean neighbor of South Africa who grew up during and after apartheid, I know almost everything about what they discussed in this episode. There are so many parallels to what happened and is still happening to black people and other non-whites in both South Africa and the U.S. And for those Americans who thought Trevor Noah wasn't qualified to host the Daily Show and talk about American affairs, I think this episode goes on to vindicate Jon Stewart for having chosen Trevor as his replacement. The title of the episode is The Totally Very Real White Genocide in South Africa with Dan Corder and Eugene Kausha. It's also available on YouTube. One last thing. There are one or two very Southern African jokes you might not get, but I'm sure you'll look past that. Nathan Kwanzaa.
Do you want to look this up?
I guess.
No, don't erase that email then.
Don't erase.
Yeah, don't erase.
Right. Yeah, that seems heavy.
Yeah, let's look at it though, and then we can maybe get to it.
Right.
You know what? I never disliked the choice of Trevor Noah. I like the idea of someone giving a different, a different view of America. A view of America is not being from America.
Right.
I think sometimes there's some other insight, but I think that he missed sometimes on the American culture when he explained it. That was the only difference with Trevor Noah. I didn't think he was a bad host though for that show at all.
But isn't John back now?
Yeah. Well, Trevor left, and then they had an ensemble of hosts, and then
John's back now.
back. Yeah,
right?
he's back. He was tired of being at home.
Yeah,
fighting with his wife.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there going, he was so good at it. What made him return?
I think you want to go home. You want to be with your wife, and then you want to be with your family, and then you get there and you go, "Hey, I liked my job because I wasn't always at home with my." And I'm not saying, if I was home, I don't know that he ever fought with his wife. I just said it as a joke because that's what happens when guys go home.
Hey, jokes are based in truth.
Yeah, when we go home, we
Slide into the thing.
we want to be at home to be with our wives, but then when we spend too much, we annoy our wives too. So it makes sense.
I don't know why stars don't have it in their contracts. If this person is doing a really great job, and they seem to be the staple of the show, you'll give them 6 months off. Take 6 months off and have a replacement for 6 months, and then come back. 6 months seems like a nice amount of time for you to decide, hey, Do I want to be home or get my ass back to work?
Well, Johnny Carson had it right. He'd work, but he had Mondays they had reruns and Fridays they had reruns. So he only worked Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, not at the beginning. That was towards the end. But how sweet! If you just work 3 days in your city, not not having to fly.
So when they would show the reruns, it was still him.
it's him.
Oh wow.
Or like they would have a guest host. I think on Fridays is what it was. Something they did something, but he only worked 3 days a week.
Would you ever? I mean, I know you're not. You're more of the in front of the camera talent, but like writing for a show that you have to pump out something every day or
I
like
would
every
never want
week.
to do that.
Did you ever write for anybody? Did you ever do anything like that? No.
I would never want to do that.
I would do it.
Sounds stressful. Even like
does. No,
like
it
what?
is.
Well, what about like
You wrote when you were on.
yeah, like what about like Matt
I didn't
TV,
really,
but like SNL?
I didn't really write. I sat in a room with the writer
and came up with some
and
ideas.
I went, yeah, yo, that's funny. What if we, you know what I mean? But to sit there by yourself and do their job and from page 1 to the end, that.
But your joke, when you write a joke, that's a premise. So that premise could be turned into a piece just as easily.
Like current events would be because everything's changing.
Yeah, but that's what that's for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I used to do this when I would have a hard time writing a new joke, or I was like haven't wrote a new joke. I try to write a joke for someone else, like someone famous or something. Oh, but I could do it, and then I would do the joke for them, and then I would see the joke, and then I'd rewrite it for myself. That's kind of broke me out of like when I couldn't come up with anything funny.
Right.
I've never been able to write a joke for you.
And I don't think I can write a joke for you. That's why we could tag each other. Where you go, oh, okay, add this maybe, but to sit there from premise to finish and go, Andy, I wrote this for you. You know what I mean? Because your voice and your energy is your.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even.
If I wrote a joke for you and it was literally on paper, you'd be like, damn, there's 15 in here.
There's a lot of punchlines.
Did I tell you that Bobby Slayton wrote me a joke?
No.
Bobby Slayton wrote me a set. Like I came.
Really?
Yeah, it was so funny. He goes, "Hey,
Andy, I got a joke for you.
I listened to you said, and there's only two problems that you said. It's your jokes and it's you. So here I wrote you a set, and he said he read this right, and he wrote me like 3 jokes, and so he goes, you go out there, you just do them. Don't even worry about it, just do them, right? Do them. So I went out there and I did them, and it bombed. And he goes, yep, I knew it. It's you. You didn't do it right.
That's hysterical.
I love that dude.
Dude,
man.
I'm telling you, Vinny, I was noticing when he would perform, white comics really have that thing of that after the punchline that
let you know?
To let you know.
I'm done?
Yeah.
This is where you applaud?
He did that a couple times yesterday.
I hate all that.
And ba-dum-bum. And
I hate all that. I hate all of that so much.
yeah. That was such an 80s thing, but I just go, if you have to tell the audience where to laugh instead of them doing it, you should quit comedy, man.
Dude, I don't want to ever say anything bad about my heroes in comedy, and Dave Chappelle is one of them.
Yeah.
But when he does a joke and he hits that
his knee, that don't bother me.
It's like, okay, guys, that's the end of this bit. And
No, you know what that says to me? He
loved
liked it.
I loved it.
That it was for him. He liked that.
I know, but it also is. It's.
You know who I saw do that? I guess he was performing at Helium. I don't know which one it was, but all the Helium's got them same backdrops. I saw Marlon Wayans do that. He slapped his knee with the mic,
I seen him do that,
and it bothered the shit out of me.
Well, and see, that's the other reason why I don't like it. Someone like Dave is beyond to me. Like, he isn't supposed to have anything that someone else can do.
No, I look at it differently. If there's anybody worthy of doing that, it's him. Not everybody is worthy of doing that.
I guess. I just see people. I see it. So when I saw it, I was just like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. But it's Dave. I'm never going to say that if that's him, that's what he wants to do, he can do it. But like you said, then when I see someone else do it, it's like this. Like I want to yell.
Right. I think that's it.
Is that an hour?
It's an hour, brother.
Yeah, look at that. Let me give out some dates real quick.
We're 15 minutes ahead of schedule.
Look at us. That's a first. It is a first.
What do you want to call this? Because it got heated a little. Not heated, but it was some heavy exchange about the chromosomes.
Let's call it chromosomes.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Chromosomes or liver lips. I don't either one.
No, save liver lips.
Okay.
Don't give that away.
Chromosomes.
Don't give that away.
All right, here we go. Dates. Where in the fuck? Okay, here we go, guys. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I'm just telling you the truth. I appreciate every one of you that listen to the podcast. I appreciate people that have picked it up a long time ago, and I appreciate the people that listen to it now. But here's the facts. Aries is selling out on his dates. All of his shows are selling out. We're adding shows so that people can come see the shows. We appreciate you coming to the shows, and we appreciate you being there from the beginning. But if you don't get your tickets quickly and the tickets sell out, we don't even have the ability to get you tickets anymore. So you need to get your tickets when we give you the dates if you're in areas. I'm not saying it to be I'm just saying it because I want you guys to come to the show. I want to see you guys at the show. Well, nothing makes me happier than when people tell me, "Oh, I listen to the podcast." It makes us very happy. And I don't want to see you miss out on shows because you waited. So
Say it louder for the black people in the back.
please come get the tickets. Before I was like, please come get the tickets because we wanted to sell tickets at the show. Now we can't even get tickets. I can't even get tickets to friends. Okay, August 7th through the 9th. Oh, man, you're going to miss it on that one, actually, because we're already going to be there. Yeah, 7th. Yeah, because this is on the 14th. Let me rephrase that. August 15th through the 17th, we're going to be at the Bricktown Comedy Club in OKC. August 22nd through the 24th, we're going to be at Tacoma Comedy Club. Dun, 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 in Tacoma, Washington, obviously. August 28th through the 31st, we're at Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia. I can't wait to be there this time. It's going to be unbelievable. September 5th through the 6th, we're going to be at the Hartford Funny Bone. September 12th through the 13th, we're going to be at the Funny Bone in Kansas City. September 18th through the 20th, Hygiene Comedy Club in Albuquerque, New Mexico. First time there. September 25th through the 27th, we're going to be at the Stress Factory in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And that's all I'm giving you because I gave you a bunch on the last one. By the way, between Hyena's Comedy Club in New Mexico and Stress Factory in Bridgeport is my birthday somewhere in there. I just want to let you guys know, just in case you want to do something nice for me.
Mine's December 19th.
Yeah. Oh, like Jesus is almost. You're just a few days away from Jesus. That's very nice. That's why you're so nice. Is that a show?
That's a show.
We're out.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit spearsburgpod.com.